meaning of a store. A store and then a reducer and then action and dispatch. Okay, action and dispatch, store and reducer. Let's suppose this is a button. When I click on button, it is called the action. When I click on a button, it's called the action. Now when the data will come here, list will happen. When I click on delete, that is also called the action. Okay, when you click on a button, the button click called the action. When the data is coming here, listing the data, when you click on the delete item, that is also called the action. Okay, so when we click on a delete, that is also called the action. When you click on a save, that is also called the action. So what is the action? The type of user interaction. The type of user interaction is going to call the action. Okay, the type of user interaction is going to call the action. The type of user interaction is going to call the action. How many way the user will click, whether he will click on button or he will click on delete button, where he is going to click no matter, but wherever he do the click, any type of action can be anything. Now dispatch meaning is what? Dispatch meaning we can just think like in our day-to-day life, what will happen dispatch? When we buy some product from the Flipkart, okay, when we buy some product from the Flipkart, message will come. Okay, when we buy some product from the Flipkart, message will come. Your product is dispatched. When the product will get delivered, when you receive the product, then message will come, your product is delivered. Okay, so dispatch meaning is what? The product was stored under the product, whatever you have purchased, it was under the store. The item what you purchased, it was under the go down somewhere. From there, what happened? Someone started carrying the product to your house. Someone took the product and they started coming to your house. Then before coming, he will message your product is dispatched. Means the product was available and down. From there, the product is dispatched. So still product is not reached till you. It is on the way. Okay, product is on the way. That is going to call it dispatched. Okay, means it is coming. So here in the React Redux, we have a term called action. Action meaning is what? The intention of the user. What user want to do? User want to click on a button. User want to delete some item. User want to add some item. That will be called the action. Dispatch meaning is what? Suppose when I enter the value here, ABC, and click on this button. When I do the action, then what will happen? From this text box, we have to take the value and we have to send somewhere. Hope you are understanding. When we enter the value under the text box and click on button, so clicking on button is called the action. And sending the value of this text box, sending the value of the text box from the text box to somewhere else, it's called a dispatch. Okay, so dispatch exact the same like in the real world here in the React Redux. Dispatch is like when you are sending some item from one place to other place, that is called a dispatch. When the item will get arrived, that is called a delivered. When you click on the button, that is called a action. So first user action will happen, then the data will be dispatched. Now in this, suppose this page we have here, this page we have here, this page we have here. So when I go here and enter my details, for example, I enter my name here, enter my name called SIYARAM, and I enter age called 30 years. And after that, I enter education as a MCA. Now, there is a two work here, action and dispatch. When we click on this button, that will be called as action. And on button, click this data will go somewhere, that is called a dispatch. Okay, so those you are going to implement now through the code, action and dispatch. Okay, so first user action will happen. After that, this item will be dispatched. And where you are going to store this data, that is called a storage. That is called a store. We are going to send this data and you will hold for some time. That is called a store. So a store meaning is what? Where we are going to store the data. Action meaning is what? When the user click on a button, that is called action. Dispatch meaning is what? When we are sending the data from one file to other file or from one place to other place, that is called a dispatch. Okay. Now there will be another word called reducer. Reducer. Reducer meaning is very common again what we see in the day-to-day life. Okay. So first, action meaning you clear. What is that? Action meaning when the user want to click here. That is called action. Suppose if I go here and click on this all store data, that is also called action. When I'm clicking here, that is action. When I'm clicking here is action. When I'm clicking is action. Okay. I'm clicking on the different button. That is also called action only. When I'm clicking here, there it's called action. So user interaction is called action. User will click somewhere, that is called action. Okay. Now after clicking, you are going to process something. You are going to send the data from one place to other place. That is called a dispatch. Okay. And after that, where the data will go and store, that is called a store. Where we are going to store the data, that is called a store. Okay, complete data. So suppose inside the project, how many components we have? User, book, API, all the store data, correct? So this all data we have here, this all content we have here, this all the content we are going to keep somewhere. This all content we are going to keep somewhere. Wherever we are going to keep this all the content, book list, user list, API list, store list, that will be called a store. Okay, that will be called a store. Okay, so 4 words came in front of you. Let me write a normal English word that will be helpful. Okay, what are that? If I write here a word called action. Action meaning is the type of user interaction, or you can say the user interaction. User interaction, or you can say the user intention. The user INTENTION, user intention. What user want to do? User want to delete. He will click on button. That is called a action. User want to save the data. He will enter the value. Click on button. That is called a. That is the intention of the user. Next is called a dispatch. 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 What it represents? It. Okay. You can say when data start moving from one place to other. The data start moving from one place to other. From Bangalore, they started going to the Delhi. That is called what? Dispatched. It's on the way. Okay. In the term of React, the words are different. I have created already very good notes. That notes I will show you. But it's called a action and then dispatch. Let me share you the first URL. Later we will not forget. lmsglobe.com. Inside, if you go, lmsglobe.com, if I come here, in this website, here, under the question answers, under the question answer, Redux, question answer, or what is that? Yeah, Redux, question answers. Yeah, that is here. See, what is the Redux? What is the action? Core concept of Redux. Then principle of Redux. Then a store meaning is what? It's saying it's one store for entire application. Hold application state. Allow access to a state via get state. Allow get to upload via dispatch. something technical words are written here. What I am writing here, it is completely non-technical word that is related to our day-to-day life, so that we can understand. Action meaning the user interaction, the user intention. Dispatch meaning when the data start moving from one place to other place. Okay. Another one is what? Called a store. A store. A store. A store, what it represent? The place where we can keep all data in some order. In some order. Like suppose you are storing a lot of data, it should not be a mix of that. Okay. Your data should not be mixed. The data should not be mixed over there. Data should not be mixed over there. Data should not be mixed data. Okay, next after that, there is another one is called reducer. Reducer. What is this reducer? It's like manager. It's like the store manager. Like the store manager. Reducer is like the store manager. Like suppose, for example, there is one shop. Assume there is one shop in Marathali. In that shop, one person is there, he is selling the product. So it is the shopkeeper responsibility to store the data properly, to arrange the data properly. If any product will get sale, it is his responsibility to reduce from the total. If he want to buy some new product, if you want to bring some new product, it is his responsibility to order to the go down, and from there data will come and go to the store. One example. Another example. Suppose you went to a shop. Once you go to the shop, you cannot go and like Big Bazaar, you can take the product. You can take the product, no problem. But at last, you have to go for the billing counter. So the billing counter becomes a reducer. The billing counter is responsible to manage everything. How many product got sell out and how many are available, and do all related to bill work. When you go to a company for interview, you will see the receptionist will be there. You have to talk to the reception first. They will guide you what to do. So when I guided you related to shopkeeper become a reducer. When you go to a company, receptionist become a reducer. When you go to the cake shop or any shop, you will order. Whoever is taking your order, that becomes a reducer. When you come to Info Campus, you talk to the Kirtana counselor, she becomes a reducer. Like suppose there is a go down, inside the go down, there is a lot of products are available. From go down, daily products are coming and going. So the person who is managing the go down, he becomes a reducer. So overall, reducer meaning is what? It is a concept of redux where the reducer will be responsible to manage your data. In this file, you can see, if I come to this browser, in our page, we will enter the data here under the component, but data will not be stored under the component. Data will go to the reducer. Data will go to the where? Reducer. Data will go to the reducer. Data will go to the reducer. So reducer will manage the data. This data will come from where? This data will come from the store. So we will enter the value here, click on save button. Dispatch will happen to reducer. The reducer will capture your data and keep inside the store. And again, if you want the data, you can deal with the store and bring here. So there is a 3-4 keywords are there that people will ask every time. If this technical, very technical words, this if you are able to read and make a note and explain someone, that is okay. In case if you are not able to explain this one, you can speak in your own way also. You can say, if anyone asks what is the action in the React, we can say, sir, action is nothing but when the user will come to our page, he will see the interface. On the buttons he will click. He will click on login button. He will click on register button. After login, he can delete his profile. He can edit the profile. So what user is doing? User is clicking on button. User is clicking on edit button, delete button. So the user intention, user requirement, user, the type of interaction of the user, okay, is going to follow the action. Dispatch meaning is what, in case you ask what is the dispatch, then we can say in the project level when you talk, we have to communicate the data from one module to other module. We have to send from one location to other location. So if you ask about the dispatch, what is that? In the term of Redux, sending the data from one location to other location will be called a dispatch. Then what is the store? A store is nothing but, suppose in one project there is a 10 component. Every component will have a data. In our component, we have 4-5 component in our project. So all the data we are not going to store separately. Entire project data we are going to store one place, that is called a store. It's like a go down where we keep everything. Then what is the reducer? A reducer is nothing but it's like a store manager, data manager. The reducer is responsible to add the item inside the store, to fetch the item from a store, delete item from a store, edit item inside the store. Maintain overall record of the store is being maintained by whom? A reducer. For that only I have given the example. In Info Campus, Kirtana, counselor becomes a reducer. Once you come, you will ask for the course, that is your action. The Kirtana will send you from her to me, that is called a dispatch. I will give the content, I will take your content, I will give a content, become a store. When you go to a shop, Marathali, anywhere, you will order, okay, give me one particular biscuit. He will go and he will bring a biscuit and give you. So when you order for a biscuit, that was the action. Correct. When he has, the shopkeeper went and given a biscuit, that become a dispatch. Now after selling one biscuit, he has to minus from a store, right? That is called as what? A store where the data was kept. And then the person who is taking care of this responsibility, they are called a reducer. So clear or not clear? Tell me again. Action meaning is what? Action meaning the intention of the user, requirement of the user is called as action. Okay. Requirement of the user is called as action. Next. Dispatch meaning is what? Based on your requirement, some content will come and go, that is called a dispatch. A store meaning is what? Where the data was stored, where the content was stored. Complete project data will store one place, that is called a store. The reducer meaning is what? The manager, the functionality who is going to handle the data under the store, that is called a reducer. Now, how many components we have in our project? We have total 4 components. 4 component we have. In that 3 component is one side, user, books, and then API. So your books is going to maintain all the data about the books is going to maintain all the data about the books. But book will not hold the data. Book list will go to the store. Book list will come from the store. So the whoever is going to maintain this store, they are called a reducer. Okay, and where the data you will store, that is called a store. Right now, come we will implement in this and we'll see how it is going to happen. Once you will write one, you will understand automatically. It's not difficult. But files are multiple file. That multiple file may confuse you, but when you are working on that, it will not be much difficult. See here we have, okay, so action, this book file is ready. We have fetched the list also using the use selector. Use selector used to bring the data. Use selector is used to bring the data from where? From the store. Okay, now, so come to the action file. We have created a file called action, myaction.js file. Open that file. Under the myaction.js file, under the myaction.js file, we have to write a code. We have to write some code to maintain that, to maintain that particular functionality. So hold on, write a function here. Export const save book. Save book equal to pat arrow method, this one. Export we have applied so that we can import it. Export we have written here so that we can import it anywhere. Export we have written so that we can import it anywhere. Inside, write a function called a variable book info. Book info equal to one square bracket inside the type of action. The type of action is add book. Add book, or maybe you can write as a new book. New book is the type of action, and the book name will keep by default here called as a Java. Book name by default as a Java. After that, come down below, return book info. Return book info. Return book info. What is wrong in that? Okay, arrow key is missing here. Save that. Save book. You can let me know once this line is ready. Okay, next after that, we have to go to the book reducer.js file. We have to go to the book reducer.js file. Go to the book reducer.js file. See here, what is the action? Here, action is nothing but book info have a type called a new book, and the book name is called Java. You can remember this. Under the book info, what you have? Type and book name. There is a two property. One is called type, another one is called book name. Now come to the book reducer. Write here a condition if action. See, the variable is here called action. So we can write under the action dot type. From there, from which file? From the action file, what you are sending? You are sending as a type. Action dot type double equal to new book. New book. Action dot type equal to new book. Then new book. Then the data list is the array. Inside you have to do the push action dot book name. You are sending from there, no, Java. Action dot book name as a Java. From where we are sending? From the action file. We are sending to property type and book name. Under which variable? Book info. Book info will come under the action variable. So action variable will hold two things. One is called type, another one is called book name. So we are checking if action dot type double equal to new book, then data list dot push action dot book name. Okay, and return what? Data list. Save this. Hope ready? This file is ready. Now we need to come to the book file. Under the action file, name is called save book. Let me share you one line. It's only one line code we have written. I shared you in the chat. Hope you capture that. Come to the action file. What is the function name? Function name is called save book. Under the book file, you have to import that. Come under the book file, you have to import that. Import save book. Save book from where? Action.myaction.js file. Please add this line. Okay, next after that, come down on button click. You have a button here. On button click, you have to call. It's a little okay, but to call the function, you cannot call directly function. It's called dispatch. Okay, so you call here one more called dispatch. Use dispatch. Use dis dis patch. Use dispatch. Using use dispatch, we can send the data. Using use selector, we can fetch the data. You can see here below. Use selector, you are fetching the data from a store. Using use dispatch, now we are going to send the data to a store. You can create a const here. dispatch. Dispatch equal to this one. Use dispatch. Dispatch equal to use dispatch. Now under the dispatch function here, on click we need to do something. So add this line and this line. Okay, ready? Now come down below. Under the dispatch, button click, you have to dispatch the action. Under the button click, you have to dispatch the action. It's little complicated line. On click equal to, you have to call here dispatch. Dispatch. But it should be like a, if you remember that function, dispatch. Yes, correct only. Fat arrow method, dispatch is coming. Under the dispatch now, you have to send the function name. That is called save book. Under the dispatch, you have to send the function name as a save book. Under the dispatch, you have to send the function name as a save book. Something like this. Button open close. Dispatch save function this one. So when you click on button now, the length will get increased by 1. When you click on button now, the length will get increased by 1. Okay. Now let me come to the page and click on my button. Length is not increased. Okay. Some error. Let me reload once. The length is supposed to increase on button click. Yeah. See, the length is increasing. As number time you click, the length is increasing here. That meaning action is getting dispatched and your data is passing to the state. Can you check anyone? Length is increasing or not? See, it is little complicated work. Between 3 file, 5 file combination action, this one happening. If it's ready for one person is worked. Node.js people can log in after some time, yeah. So I think today we can start after 4:30 only. Node.js, if you log in, let's take half an hour more rest, okay? Come after half an hour. We can start today half an hour late. Okay, data is saving now. Let's go next. Now data is saving. Which data is saving? Those data is saving. We have to list here. Book name and index. Come down. Follow the T body. Under the T body, you have to write a map function. That is called allbook.map. 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 Inside that, name of the book as well as index of the book. Display table. Display table, return ATR PD PD index. To log in for node class, please log in after half an hour. Okay, we'll start at 4:30 today. Index, book name, book name, book name. One more button is in print here. Which button? TD. Write a button called delete. DELET, delete. And we can write here not on click as of now. Just write a class name btn hyphen ranger btn hyphen sn. A small button will come. Now whatever the book you are saving here, every time Java will come, because Java hardcode value we have added there. We have not kept as any. Let us check now. List is coming. Whichever the book we add, that list will come here. Every time, how many times you add the Java, it will come here in the list. If you go to other component and come back, the data will be here only. Go to any component and come back, data will not erase. That is called redux. Go to other component, come back, data will be here only. It will not get removed. Saving every time Java, we have to make it dynamic now. We have to make that part as a dynamic. We have to make that part as a dynamic. So come to the JS part. Wait a second. Hello. Yeah, hello. Yes, hello. Okay. Angular close. Okay. Marathon. So hope you have written. After that, now see all the list will come here. All the list will come. Now, why we use the Redux? If you remember the React, when you go from one component to other component, see, I'm going from one component to other component, one component to other component. Can you see data is here, going and coming? Can you see data is not losing? Data is there only, but in plain React, it will lose. You will not hold the data like this. So this data is storing under the store, and from there it is coming and displaying. When I click here, dispatch is happening. Action is getting dispatched. And again, data is getting fetched here and displayed. Come, we'll make it dynamic. Go to the your text box. What is the ID of the text box? ID of the text box is new book. ID of text box is what? New book. If ID of the text box is new book, come to the action file. In action file, you can write here instead of Java, you can write document dot get element by ID, get element by ID, which ID? New book dot value, new book dot value. Now this line will become a dynamic. It will take the value from text box and then send to the store. This line will become a dynamic. It will take the value of text box and then it will send to a store. Okay, ready? Let us check now. Is it? You can refresh the page once. All the data will get clear. You can refresh the page once. All data will get clear. Then enter here called HTML. Click on save button. It will come below. CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap have written. Save here. JavaScript. Save here. See, dynamic happen. If you go to other component, maybe user and come back, you can see data is there only. It will not lose. Data will be there only. It will not lose. If you go to any component and come back there, data will be there because it is not storing inside the component now. It is storing under the where Redux. It is storing under the Redux. Redux store. It is storing under the Redux store. Correct. So next we can work for the next component, user. Or you want to add the delete also. Let's complete the delete part. So first go to that page, action page. or maybe here also under the reducer also, book reducer also. Under the book reducer also we can add here one. Under the book reducer also we can add here one action. If action dot type equal to delete book, del book, delete book, then booklist dot splice action dot index comma 1. So this will delete the data from the store. It will delete the data from store. It will delete the data from store. Right? Book written. Come to the again which file? That action file. This is a reducer. We need to go to the action. This is the reducer. We need to go to the action. Come to the action file. In action file, you will write a delete button. Const delete book. First export will come. Const delete, not delete book. Keep it a del book. Yes, because that name and this name should be different. Equal to you can write like this. Action type is what? You have written here. Action type is delete book. Action type is delete book. Delete book. And then you need to send the index from here. You have to send the index from here. Write as a index. We can write here call as a index. Add this function quickly. Del book function. I will share in your chat. Okay, hope ready. Come to the action page. Not action page. So action reducer both we done. In reducer we wrote here, if the type is delete, then get the index and delete the book. Splice function. In action file you have written here, in action file you have written here, action file you have written del book, book info, type delete book, type as index. Now come to your book page. So here in action file you have written del book. In the book.js file you have to import that function. Save book you are calling, call here del book also. First you have to import the function on the top. Soumya Ranjan Rath Kinath 430. 430 can log in. Hope you call the function del book function. After calling this del book function, after calling the del book function, you come down and after that, oh, this line is imported for me extra. This is not required. Fine. Next, after that, come down on button click. In the last we have button. So on that button click, we have to pass the index. Then the item will get deleted. On button click, we have to call the function. On click, you have to call the function. Which function? Dispatch. On button click, you have to call the function call dispatch. 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 Under the dispatch, you have to send the del book function. Del book function. Del book function with the index. Just you send del book with index. It will delete also. No need to pass the. No need to call the bind function. No need to call the bind function. You need to call the bind function. It should delete directly. Let us click now. Then we go here, user, no data, book have some data, CSS I'm deleting. Do I need to reload the page? Okay. HTML. Coming. CSS coming. JS is coming. Now let me delete the CSS. Getting deleted. So one dimensional array, you are able to deal with the state, you are able to deal with the store, you are able to deal with the, it's a difficult, I'm also saying it's a difficult only, not very easy or too easy. Okay, so difficult only, not very easy or too easy, but if you work on that, we can get the solution. If you work on that, we can get the solution. Okay, clear. Then we can log out today. Tomorrow we can log in again for 1 hour. Some more is pending still. User, API, this all. Maybe 2 more classes, but I'll update you timing. Maybe half an hour before we have to log in. Instead of 1:30, we need to log in maybe 1 o'clock for 1 hour, 1 to 2. Tomorrow we can finish this user management. One more day we can work on API. So spend 2-3 more classes, we'll get more clarity.
Sir,
Tell me, sir.
Sir, two topics you have not covered, sir. One is sir React life cycle method, and second one is React with Material UI.
React
Both
with
are sir both are in Material UI.
Material UI, I have no idea. Even it's not available in our
Sir,
syllabus.
both are syllabus, sir.
In React, in
Sir,
syllabus.
both are in syllabus.
Material, I have no.
Yes, sir.
You can delete that. Maybe by mistake they have added. Material, I have no idea. So I have not teach material. React life cycle method, you have seen 3-4 function already. Constructor, you have seen. Render, you have seen. Correct. Use component did mount, you have seen. Those are life cycle function only.
Okay.
Class component you have seen, no? Constructor, render, component did mount, 3 over. 2-3 more are there. Maybe some example I'll guide you.
Okay, sir.
Okay. थोड़ा आपने में भी एफर्ट डालिए, थोड़ा इंटरनेट से भी पढ़िए. कितना पढ़ाएंगे? देखिए इंटरनेट पे there will be so many examples. See from there also. If you
Yes.
can get. Okay.
Sir,
Tell me, sir.
sir, unit tests cases.
No, sir, that is not my profile. Unit test is the work of testing software tester. That is not work of developer. Unit testing, you don't need to work. Unit testing, there will be separate people in the market. Some company asks, then they will guide you. Development, you be aware of well properly, you can survive in market. Okay,
Sir,
tell me, sir.
sir, हम नॉन आईटी बैकग्राउंड से हैं, सो रिज्यूम बिल्ड करने के लिए एक क्लास होगा सर. मतलब IT कैसा रिज्यूम बिल्ड करना है, क्या डालना
You have got the resume format.
है? हाँ, yes sir.
Fill the
For
details.
resume building, I want to.
Fill the details and send on that same email ID. Okay. Fill the details, details and send on the same email ID. The person has sent you the email. They will reply you back. They will guide you if any correction is required. You have received an email no, from something. You got a resume format. In that,
Yes sir. Info campus
fill your
HR.
details. Yes. You fill your details and reply on that same email saying like, please have a look into my resume. Okay. The person will reply you. If anything correction is there, they will correct and they will reply you. If no correction, then they will say it's okay. We can manage like this. Okay.
Sir,
The
in
process
technical
class.
skill, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. टेक्निकल स्किल क्या डालना, मतलब ऐसा फ्रेमवर्क, लाइब्रेरी, कंफ्यूज हो रहा है सर एक्चुअली.
Come again.
सर, जावास्क्रिप्ट फ्रेमवर्क, रिएक्ट जेएस, जेक्यूरी डालना है ना सर?
Library.
फ्रेमवर्क.
React is a library of JavaScript. It's
यस
not-
सर.
Framework is Angular.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, वही कंफ्यूज हो रहा है.
No. So you have learned the library. You have not learned the framework. So
जेक्यूरी आल्सो लाइब्रेरी.
yes, yes. jQuery class will be there in the next week. We'll update you, or maybe coming Saturday class.
वही, हाँ, कंफ्यूज हो रहा था सर, इसीलिए पूछा. और लाइब्रेरी या फ्रेमवर्क करके.
Library. Okay. See you tomorrow. Still, I'm here only. I'm not running away anywhere. So we can discuss again if any
ओके. हाँ
assistance is required.
सर, आपके पास एक रिज्यूम सैंपल रहे तो ग्रुप में सेंड करना सर,
Which one?
कीजिए. यू हैव